A fiery new hero, tons of new skins to come, and as always, esports and community updates. Hey guys, I'm Gillyweed and I'm bringing you all that and more this week on Heroes Hype on Air. There's a new patch out and everyone's talking about the newest hero to the game, Kael'thas. He's a powerful mage whose hero trait, Verdant Spheres, amplifies his abilities. And of course, his heroic abilities are Pyroblast and Phoenix, two iconic spells associated with this Prince of Elves. The patch also brought changes to several heroes, most notably to the game's warriors. And there are tons of new skins and mounts on the way, so be sure to watch the store for Super Sonya, Mad Martian Gazlowe, and more coming soon. That's all for Blizzard news this week, so let's see what happened in the last week of Heroes Esports. Let's start this recap with a look at the Asian Heroes scene. The GPL preseason concluded in a similar manner to Storm League. Edward Gaming was sent to the losers bracket at the hands of eStar, only to find themselves in a rematch for the finals. As the Storm League champions claimed another victory, eStar proved they are the best in the scene. In Europe, the Go for Heroes Cup number 23 had a close finals between two top-tier teams. Team Fancy has been climbing up the ranks these past few weeks, but Team Arthas was finally able to stop their hot streak in a 2-1 set. The Enter the Storm 2 qualifiers number 5 and 6 allowed Team Fancy and Fnatic to rise even further through the ranks as they defeated their opponents to claim spots in the playoffs. The 8th Zotac Cup was a walk in the park for Gamers 2, who defeated Eastern Europe School in the finals. Colossos del Nexo had top-notch competition throughout and a high-stakes showdown for the top spot. Gamers 2 put up an excellent fight against Team Liquid and took the set to Game 5. Team Liquid managed to scrape by with their win, upholding their first-place reputation. DreamHack Tours France was another big LAN event for the EU scene, but did not draw in as many big teams as the Bucharest tournament. However, Na'Vi showed up to play and powered through the winner's bracket. Madcore came from the loser's bracket for a rematch in the grand final, but Na'Vi was not to be denied their victory. Finally, for the EU scene, ESL's Major League Season 2 has continued making up for lost ground in the absence of Team Acer. ESC Gaming seems to be on top of their game, taking 2-1 victories over Team Arthas and Gamers 2. And Well Met took a 2-0 victory over LDLC. Meanwhile, ESL's NA Major League has been delayed a week due to scheduling conflicts with WCA. WCA America is the largest Heroes tournament to date, featuring $19,000 in prize money. All of the invited teams have brought their A game, and some also had to test their adaptational skills. 2Arc used some interesting drafting strategies to win 2-0 over Cloud9 Vortex, while Cloud9 Maelstrom simply dominated Stellar Lotus. Then the Kael'thas patch arrived mere hours before the bottom half of the bracket played their matches. Tempo Storm and Zevran were able to adapt the quickest, earning victories over Cognitive and Complexity respectively. We'll find out on June 1st which team will claim the first place prize money and a paid trip to China. In the Heroes Hype Amateur Series Week 12, there's still plenty of new talent emerging from the scene. Newcomers eDubbbz Fan Club were able to defeat two of the most consistent, high-placing teams to date, Goon Squad and Wild Growth. The final best of 3 went to the distance, so be sure to watch all the exciting games on our YouTube channel. The Nexus Mayhem number 2 also had a bit of a surprise, as Team Solid was able to defeat Beyond Reason in the semifinals. But Kappa Wolves proved their firm grasp of the game with back-to-back victories in both Nexus Mayhems to date. Finally, the Go for Heroes America's Cup number 23 had two teams making a tear through the bracket, Kappa Wolves and Tornado. The former pros on Tornado seemed to make short work of every team they faced. The addition of Araraji to their roster has made Tornado a force to be reckoned with in the NA scene. That's all for esports this week. Let's check out what happened in the Heroes community over the past week. On Eye on the Storm, Anna and I talked with Kappa Wolves and ASU player Michael Udall about Heroes of the Dorm and the patch preview. On Town Hall, Stellar Lotus player Iacona chatted with the hosts about the patch preview and open beta. There's a new Heroes podcast in town called Podcast Heroes. Episode 2 talked about the patch preview and Sylvanas builds. And Lords of the Storm had guest Notch on to talk about Rhaegar builds and body blocking techniques. In the land of YouTube, be sure to check out Science of the Storm by Sunglare. Episode 5 tests what happens when Tranquility is void prisoned and when Blood for Blood is used on someone with Spell Shield. There's also great plays to see in Red Hot Plays Episode 1 by Team Red Hot, Heroes Hottest Plays by Heroes Forecast, and of course, our Clip of the Week by Dan the Supreme. Guys, that's all the Heroes news this week, but we'll be back next week with more for you. In the meantime, be sure to check out the Heroes Hype website and social media with more info on the Amateur Series and up-to-date news. Once again, I'm Gillyweed, and I'll see you next week, but until then, I'll see you in the Nexus.